Hello, hello. Welcome back to a long hiatus. The hiatus is over for the AniGains podcast. But the three musketeers of anime, bodybuilding, and off plans are back. The three horsemen, the three boys, Cam's Fitness, Noah from Natural Physiques, and Kaizen Posing. As you can see, me and Noah are having a sleepover because we have the first ever Kaizen seminar this Saturday at Derby. BMod, which I'm very excited for, but enough about myself. Boys, Kez, how are you?
I am okay, mate. I am okay. It's been interesting last few weeks. I'm actually fasting for Ramadan, for those who don't know. So, mashallah, brother, mashallah. So I'm actually for that reason, I'm on a bit of a deficit. So if people are seeing me looking a bit lean with some lines in the abs, I'm actually on a deficit and I've been fasting for Ramadan. It's for those who don't know, essentially it's a period where you're going to be fasting without food or water from sunrise to sunset. So this year it's about 5:30 a.m. till about 5:30 p.m. So basically I have become somewhat nocturnal during these few weeks. So basically I am like staying up throughout the night to eat, and then I'll just sleep throughout the day pretty much. Which means it's a bit weird. Like, it's been a bit weird. Like, it's been fine in terms of being able to do everything, train, kind of get my food in. But when your hours are shifted, you kind of lose human contact, if you know what I mean. So the people you normally speak to on a daily basis, you kind of like lose kind of touch with them. It's all right, like, when I'm home with family and everything, it's okay because you speak to your family and everything, but then when you live by yourself, it kinda gets a bit, "Oh, is this getting deep here?" A bit of a therapy session on AniGains. It gets a bit lonely. It gets a bit lonely sometimes, and you're just, like, just doing the same thing again and again, day to day. Like, obviously, I have my posing sessions, which is cool. Obviously, you're speaking to your posing clients and taking them through that, but it's not like an actual conversation with someone, and you kinda lose that human touch with people. So yeah, it's just been a bit lonely, but you learn to deal with it.
So, a question for you, because there's something to be said about like operating off of your own or a different schedule, being limited food and then not socializing as much. So what would you say are the main differences for yourself from Ramadan as opposed to prep, which I know you're doing a bit of both at the minute, but
Yeah, yeah. So honestly, with prep, it's a lot easier prep, to be honest. Because you can space out your meals evenly, so it's fine. The only thing is you might just get a bit hungry, but that's fine. With Ramadan, when you are dehydrated as well and you're not drinking water for 12 plus hours, like, that is the hardest thing. So your mental clarity is just not really there when you're super dehydrated in comparison to normal. So it definitely is a lot harder than prep, but when you have done it like every year, you kind of get used to it. Like, for most people, if you were to do it for the first time, it'd be a bit of a shock and you'd be like, how do people do this? But then when you do it for a few days, your body learns to adjust. The other thing being different is like adjusting to the sleep. So when your sleep's kind of like at different hours and your circadian rhythm is like impacted that way, your body gets kind of thrown. It's almost like being jet lagged when you go into a different time zone. It's like that feeling. So I'd say those are like the two main things physically, which kind of are the main difference. To be honest, when you train though, it's actually fine. Until recently, I'll get onto that. I was like maintaining strength, no problem, getting good pumps. Gym performance was really good. So everything was in a good spot. So honestly, I think for most people, you can still like progress in the gym, still kind of carry out your bodybuilding tasks and achieve your bodybuilding goals throughout prep. I prepped throughout Ramadan. I prepped throughout Ramadan before, so it is possible. It's just being smart with what you do in terms of sleep, food choices, making sure you hydrate when you can drink and everything. And that should be fine. But obviously that leads us on to more recently, where I've actually injured myself, fully enough. So yeah, a bit of law here. Back in my day in 2018, when I was a junior athlete, believe it or not. So I actually slipped a disc in my neck. So my C5, C6 cervical spine was herniated. And I think I was doing pull-ups randomly and I just felt something go. And I was like, oh, this feels weird. Throughout the next couple of weeks after that, it just got worse and worse. I remember like vividly, I was like moshing at BBC Radio 1 Extra to Travis Scott at a concert. And like someone like elbowed me really hard and like it like twinged my neck even worse. So that wasn't ideal. And then since then, I kind of like my training has been impacted like quite a bit since then. So everything on my right side with my presses is just not the same in terms of the connection. So there's a reason why like one of my pecs is smaller than the other, and my pecs are like kind of a weak point, kind of because of that. So it's been like I've had like reoccurrences, little twinges since then, but nothing really, nowhere near as bad as it was initially. And then now, I feel like I've twinged it again. So I don't even know what I did. I just woke up and it was feeling a bit weird, my neck, and then I just continued to train. It felt all right, and then it's just gotten worse every single day, which is not ideal. So yeah, I think at the minute now I'm just trying to train when I can and how I can. It's a bit lower, I suppose, lower loads and just kind of higher volume style training just to get a bit of a pump. And then I'm actually seeing a physio tomorrow, so we will see. The plan still is to prep this year and compete. But in terms of timelines, like we'll have to see according to like what I hear from the physio and everything. Cause like I don't want to just prep for the sake of it and then just train like half-hearted and then kind of like not have proper sessions, not be able to train. And then I'm like, oh, well, what if I could train properly and then just put a physique on stage that I'm not really that happy with. So if I need to delay it, I will, but I still want to compete for sure.
Mate, good on you, man. I think that I want that to almost like set as an example for like maybe some of the younger lot who've maybe been exposed to the bodybuilding is so fucking hard, and like, you know, when you're on peak week, you're not going to be able to function. Like genuinely, like get the fuck out, man. Like so many people, especially when like you get older, especially for like natural preps, like I would say generally speaking, they are harder. They're less complicated, but fundamentally they are harder. Especially like say when you have other external commitments, you know, like you know, with you, like, you know, Ramadan, for example, even just like pre-existing injuries. I feel like now, like people's food gets a little bit low, or they're just like in a state that's not 100% optimal. And then they very much lose their head about like what is and what isn't attainable. Like I've had people like be afraid of the idea of like, you know, having say lower food, or like their expenditure being, oh, that's too high, or oh, that's too low. And it's like, it's really not. Like, and even like in the depth of a prep, like you're not going to be like a mindless zombie. You're still going to be eating 5 pounds a day. You're still going to be able to, you know, like walk around. You're still going to be able to hold a conversation. You won't feel like it as much, but it's definitely not impossible. And it's almost a case of like, very much look at what you have in front of you and embrace it for what it is, because it could be so much worse. There are people who are having to push things a lot harder, sort of like relatively speaking, and you don't really see it. Like you don't hear about it. You know, you only see the final outcome when they're on.
Yeah.
And I would almost say it's the people who almost have to like dig and work a bit harder, or usually the people that like have the craziest and freakish results. 9 times out of 10, if everything's laid out on a plate in front of you, you've got no hunger, you've got no drive. You just surround yourself with people telling you what you're doing is impossible, and you
Yeah.
need to push yourself, you know? So, mate, genuinely like fucking good on you. Because I hear shit like that and I'm like, do you know what? If Kaizen is going to be sending it this much, like, shit, like,
Yeah.
well, no excuse, you know? Like, I don't
Yeah.
know, I've got like equipoise. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
It's it's one of them where it's like I feel like sometimes when kids see influencers like and they're, oh guys, I'm prepping on 4,000 calories, blah blah blah, and I'm having refeeds with Five Guys all the time, and they think they can do that.
Yeah.
And they don't realize like one, they might be lying. Two, they probably have a lot more muscle than you, so they can afford to do that sort of thing. So ultimately it's down to genetics, your muscle mass, everything in terms of how much food you can diet on. Sometimes you can't get away with what other people can do. And if you need to diet on like less than 2000 calories and like 60 minutes cardio, then that's what you need to do. Like ultimately it's an extreme sport at the end of the day, and everyone has a different route in which they need to take to get to where they need to go to. But if you need to do something to get into stage condition, like just do it at the end of the day. The judges don't care how you got there. It's just as long as you get there.
You think that like if somebody is truly in stage condition, no matter where their food's at, you don't think that person is still hungry. You don't think that person is still working hard.
Yeah.
Like I guarantee you, like mate, when you're fucking peeled, a controlled Five Guys isn't going to touch the sides. Like it's just.
If anything, it triggers cravings more.
It's just gonna fire everything off more. I know for Josh, his peak weeks, like, or not even his peak weeks, but even in his prep, you know, he had a really successful prep. There's not probably been many teams in natural bodybuilding that's looked the way he has and brought that much condition. Even though it comes a lot more naturally to him, he had to work fucking hard to get there. Yes, he was refeeding on Five Guys and was able to have these kind of crepes and things like that. That's just because of his genetic response.
Also, it trains really fucking hard.
Yeah, 100%. But even being that lean for anyone, no matter how much food you want, it's still a fucking challenge in the body, and it's still something that's not sustainable.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
The OG first ever guest we had on this show. Crazy.
Yeah. Good. It was. Yeah. So do we want to, I think a good idea, like maybe if we each give one tip to like, let's just say a first timer who's like going on prep for the first time in terms of managing the prep. I'll start. Keep yourself busy. Keep yourself busy, right? So the problem is when people have a little bit more time and then they're just like doom scrolling all the time, or they give themselves some time to look at like food related content or stuff like that.
Yeah.
All you're doing is you're like counting down for your next meal. Yeah, you're just counting the time down. And that in turn, I think leads to you being a lot more food focused and like less focused on the process and what you're doing on a day-to-day basis, and rather the end goal and the outcome or what you're going to be eating after. Like I think I kind of had that mindset a little bit before my first show. Whereas now it's kind of like, it is what it is. It is the process. I've just got to do what I got to do. And I've got my task to do on a daily basis. And that's it. And I'm learning to enjoy everything I'm doing on a daily basis, rather than thinking, oh, well, the end date isn't then. What am I going to do on show day? What am I going to do after? What food am I going to eat? I think people like really mentally mess themselves up then when they have a bit too much time to think about that sort of thing.
Yeah, definitely 100%, 110%. And like the thing is, like, I don't know, I've found like the busier I've gotten, or like it's even like small things. Like I know guys that are busy that was like, right, I'm gonna have the next week off, like going into my show. I'm like, no, don't fucking do that. Like, stay working, because I guarantee you, like that time where you're not going to be working, you're just going to be overthinking everything you're doing. You're going to be overthinking everything you're doing. You're going to be like overstressing about like, you know, like different like protocols that you're doing. You are going to look at the clock and you're going to think to yourself like, right, I need to make a list of places or food items that I want to eat after my show. Fuck that, man. Just go to work. Just earn your bread. Like the thing is, even within the realm of a prep, and this sort of is my point, right? Nothing changes. Nothing in theory should change. You just maybe doing a little bit more cardio and eating a little bit less food, relatively speaking. No.
Yeah.
Well, what you're going to lose for a couple of plates on, you know, of stability through like a chest press, you're going to have a couple more lights through your glutes. Your face is going to be really nice.
Yeah.
There's sort of like ups and downs to everything. I think, to quote Toyton Ekiondo,
Ekondeo.
close enough. He said something along the lines of like a journey down. Oh, I'm butchering this hell up. But essentially, it's like a walk down a path you don't want to go down is essentially torture. So just enjoy the journey. You know, don't force it. Like, at the end of the day, it is a choice. And like you said, it's an extreme sport. And if you want to do it, that's great. You know, do it to the best of your ability. If you like, say, if you really like sort of find out halfway through, like, fucking hell, like this isn't for me, you don't have to do it. Like, it is not for everyone. And like, genuinely speaking, I know people that have like done a season, looks fucking mega. And these are athletes that like do very, very well as well. I'm not going to name names, but like I've seen people like win world titles and then just like sack it off because like it's just not for them. Like, you know, and that's fine. You know, I see people as well cut their prep short because it's not for them. That's fine. I think there needs to be some humility that needs to be said for do things that you enjoy. And if you enjoy doing it, you will go far, you know?
There's a reason why like the goal to compete comes into your mind is because you enjoy the process of improvement. You know, you love your training, you start taking it that little bit further, then the idea might come into your head, then conversation can come with a coach. And, you know, in my opinion, if you start to lose that passion, that enjoyment, are you going to be working on doing as hard as you could be doing, or you had the effort? Are you going to start resenting the process? And, you know, you see it on social media, all these people come out, they'll do a prep, and maybe they're not in the best mental spot going into the prep, and then they start, you know, demonizing bodybuilding. When in
Yeah.
reality, bodybuilding isn't, yeah, sure, it's not the healthiest of sports, but it's not bodybuilding's problem. Bodybuilding as a sport, it's not that problem. There's just different ways to approach it and mentally facilitate yourself through that process. Again, if you're not enjoying it, don't fucking do it.
Yeah.
It's not meant to be a sport for everyone. That's okay. I think people need to be all right with knowing that the sport's not going to be for everyone, but not just feeling that they need to do it. Yeah, I think as well what you were saying, Kez, don't make a list of foods. I done that. And as much as I didn't in my first season, like in my prep itself, I didn't go off plan. You know, post show, it was a lot more difficult. A lot more difficult. I was doing cardio with my food binge videos and all that at the same time. And where at the time it kind of put me off the food. But when I knew I had that kind of that opening, like the floodgates kind of lifted, and oh, there's more calories that are out there now that this is done. It puts you down a slippery slope. And considering the people that I've seen, you know, firsthand and go through stuff like that, you just give yourself a bit more of a vulnerable position where you're already going to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
And if you give yourself that extra opening, you leave yourself to be fucked, to put
Yeah.
it bluntly.
Mate, yeah, because mate, like, bro, I've seen some of these guys, like, it's been a while since they competed or dieted or done whatever, and they're still not fully out of that food focused mindset.
Yeah.
And again, it's a very poisonous way of thinking. I think people say that bodybuilding inherently gives you an eating disorder. That is wrong. But it's a slippery slope to become disordered with your approach from how you view food and like how you kind of put certain things on a pedestal. And, you know, I would just say, just keep things real basic and keep yourself level headed and grounded. Don't just surround yourself with other avatar bodybuilders, you know, keep your circle wide. Remember, there is more to life than just being shredded and fucking like being full intramuscularly from Five Guys, you know?
Definitely. No, I mean, on that note, I went to London over the weekend. One of the reasons was to go to Muscleworks and see Cam and a bunch of other posing clients as well. But one of them was just to see my friends from uni. So I actually haven't seen him in like a year. But they don't know anything about bodybuilding at all. So like none of the conversations I have with them are about bodybuilding. So I feel like it's really nice sometimes just to have a chat with someone about something that's got nothing to do with bodybuilding.
Yeah.
I feel like, I don't know about you lot, but I feel it a bit tiresome sometimes just to have the same conversations again and again. Hey bro, how's prep? How's prep, bro? How's training, bro? Like every single show I go to, I have like that conversation about 20 times. And when you have a conversation with like, I don't know, quote unquote normal people who just like, I don't know, just chatting about life and how things are going and maybe what's going on in the world, or I don't know, stuff like that, then it's quite refreshing sometimes. And it's just like, I don't know, it makes me feel like a normal human being and like connected to the world a bit more without wanting to sound like a hippie too much. But yeah, I think it's nice.
I'd say having more to your personality than bodybuilding is important. Like
Yeah.
if you only consume bodybuilding content, in my opinion, you're probably going to come across quite insufferable. Now, again, I'm probably very insufferable to a lot of people. Fair enough. But if you only consume X amount of content and you engross yourself solely in it, sure, you can love the process completely, but you become completely two-dimensional as a person if you don't have more to you than one thing, you know? And there's a lot more to it than that. But I don't know. I feel like, especially in a prep, don't just completely engross yourself in one particular thing. Actually keep up your hobbies outside of the sport as well, where you can do and where it's obviously advised.
Yeah.
So on that topic, what are your current like pastimes outside of bodybuilding that you're doing right now?
Fuck. So I want to start a fucking. I really want to get a bass guitar.
Nice.
Because yeah, I'm just like one of my friends, Mr. Jacob Strange. Shout out Jacob, man. He's 100% not listening to this. He's just like, he's basically like made a commitment to himself. Like, listen, I'm gonna quit my full-time job and I just want to pursue music. And I watched him play at like he did a headline not too long ago, and I saw him there headline. I remember thinking to myself like, "Fuck, man, there's something so cool about this." Because I used to a little bit of AniGains law. I used to play music as well. I used to play around. Like I was involved with like a couple of groups. I grew up playing the cello, and then when I went in secondary school, I used to play the guitar. So I'm just thinking about like getting back into music. Kind of like challenging my way, challenging my brain in like a little bit of a different way again. Like something that's not just so. There's something very ritualistic about just like trying to practice a melody over and over and over again until it's perfect. It's not like doing a set. It's like, oh, that rep was good. That one, yeah, could have got that one a little bit more short.
Yeah.
Either way, like no, it's like it's either right or it's wrong.
Yeah.
And like kind of like playing to music that I like as well. It's just like it again, when we talk about not even creating distractions, but keeping a little bit more versatility to you. Like, listen, like if you're listening to this in prep and like you are just like in the back of your mind, like thinking about food, like bro, like it's gonna come back one day. And when it is back, you're gonna find that you are fucking bored. Like, I would rather like use this time now to like get ahead. Any spare time I have, it's like cool. I would rather like spend like the next 3 months playing the guitar, getting really good at it, and then like being able to play along to like my favorite songs. I don't know, for me music is a big thing I value, and yeah, I think by the end of this year I have some goals, but like I want to play at a gig in a band. That's one of the, that was gonna be my final show of the season.
Nice. Are we getting Wonderwall live on the podcast?
No, I'll never play one. Never play Wonderwall. I'll never play Wonderwall, and as a bass player, I'll never play Seven Nation Army either. Yeah, no white stripes for me.
Fair enough.
Well,
Fair enough. Anyways, on that note, I'm actually reading Berserk as we speak.
fuck yeah, based.
Yeah, mate, I've got it. Hardcover.
Hell yeah. What?
Yeah, but
Number 3.
that's number 2. I'm on number 3 though now. So I'm on. It's the bit of the anime. So it's the kind of like the golden age bit, or so basically the bit in the anime when they're in the battles. So I think it's right before, spoiler alert, Griffith, right before Guts is about to leave the Band of the Hawks, pretty much. Yeah. So it's weird because I was like reading it, the volume 1, and I was like, am I reading the right anime? I feel like there's a massive time skip here.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was like, well, what's going on here? And it was actually after the eclipse and everything. So it was like maybe a few years after the eclipse, and Guts was just like going from one demon to another, like, but he seemed like, how he's very cynical in the series and very like kind of, I don't know, aggressive sometimes. He was that times 100. So he was like super rude to everyone who spoke to him. That Puck the fairy.
Puck's fuck.
Yeah. So he was like super rude to everyone. And I feel like, I don't know, I needed some backstory as to like how he got like that. Because I feel like his character was progressing throughout the show, and he became more compassionate, and like he developed a bond with everyone, and it kind of felt like he like severed all those bonds after the eclipse. But obviously because the anime kind of stopped, it's like, well, okay, what happens after that?
Yeah.
And well, obviously we'll learn. Have you read all of Berserk?
Yeah.
You have?
Yeah, it's like, I will say it's like a story. It's so fucking cool in terms of like world building as well.
Yeah.
no character development for one. It's just I can see why it's on the same pedestal as Vinland Saga, because it is just like it's so there's a lot more to it, and I think once you get into it a bit more, you'll start discovering the sort of like the depth to the character of Guts, but also like like the apostles as well. Like they're actually very interesting. All like the side characters in Berserk as well. There's a big emphasis on Guts, but like again, there are some characters that I won't name any names for spoilers, but like there are some people that are like shrouded in mystery who really don't get spoken about enough, who add a sort of like level of complexity and like dynamic to like the conflicts of interest within the world. I don't know. I think it's a top 3 manga of all time. I want to start collecting the hardback covers. I'm currently reading Vagabond.
Oh, sick. What volume are you on?
Just finishing up volume 2.
Okay.
It's fighting the monk.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Like that is that's also it's very funny because I've also been watching in terms of anime the second season or the new season of Baki with they revive Masashi Miyamoto.
Fuck off.
Yeah, they do. He got fucking them all up. Like he cut down what's his name? I don't know, the bald headed guy. Oh, he's going to come back to me. Dopo Orochi. He cut down Dopo Orochi, but he doesn't slice him with his blade. He simply presses it in. And Dopo knew he was cut down. Mate, Musashi's like fucking top 5 strongest and the worst. Yujiro's not got to him yet, though.
Yeah, funnily enough, on that topic, I got a message from an IFBB Pro, of all people, out of nowhere. It was Mr. Kyle Shaler, right? And the message was, you seen the new season of Baki? Out of nowhere. So Kyle, if you're watching this, shout out. But out of all the anime I've been asked about randomly, I think yeah, Baki was not one I expected to.
No, but so synonymous with gym culture.
Yeah. If you just want to like turn off your brain and watch people fight each other, then it's like watch Baki.
I laugh, man. I do watch it whenever I have like a meal that I need to eat, and I'm just like, right, what's 10 minutes of entertainment? What's going to happen in the world's most exaggerated fight of all time with the world's best kung fu practitioner in history versus Masashi Miyamoto, and they're both 300 pounds and shredded. I'm like, yes, this is stimulation for my brain. I've literally said like, yeah, don't look at food. Just give your brain something more stimulating like Baki.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've finished Hajime no Ippo now.
You finished it?
Yeah. I'm like, I feel like there's more to do though. Like there's 3 seasons out there of it. And they finish where it's like, I feel like they haven't really concluded timelines, and I feel like there's more for the guys to achieve. So I don't know if like the manga's just left not finished, but yeah, it's like I want more. I don't feel like the arc is finished yet in terms of what they need to do. So it ends up with Ippo being the Japanese champion, but he still needs to have a fight with Miyata, which he hasn't had yet. And what's his name? The big guy. Takamura is the world champion, but he still needs to become the heavyweight world champion. So I'm like, I hope there was more, because genuinely, in terms of like prep shows to watch on prep whilst you're doing your cardio, like that's like close to the top. Because when you're watching like this inspirational journey of this guy working to achieve like his goals, it's almost like prep, like trying to compete, like obviously put the work into to win your show or do well in your show. And when you're doing the cardio at the same time, it's yeah, ultimate prep watch, I would say. Hajime no Ippo.
Josh got into that on prep actually. Josh Camber.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to shout out Josh again. Yeah. And Carl Shaler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should get Kyle on the podcast. He'll just speak about Baki and what's the other one? Kengan Ashura.
Does he like Kengan?
I think so, yeah.
Kengan is an elite cardio watch. I watch Kengan when I do. I've rewatched Kengan genuinely about 18 times. Like, it's the best show to watch when doing cardio.
Tell you likes Kengan, Christian James, the UK DFBA president. He loves Kengan Ashura.
And he will be the one to save the UK DFBA. Which is going to be elite beating this year. Yes, genuine. Shout out to the UK DFBA, man.
Honestly, I'm excited to see what they're going to do this year, because the thing is, I feel like out of all the feds now, they're making an effort to like really go above and beyond and actually improve and progress as a federation. Sometimes, like, when federations get a bit established, they're kind of like, oh, well, we're good now, so we'll just keep everything as it is. But I feel like with UK FBA, they're hiring like top level production guys to obviously live stream, get content for the show. The lighting's going to be unreal. So I'm actually really excited to see how those shows go, to be honest.
So going forward, is the UKDFBA just going to be like, not like the MBW, but kind of ran in a similar way?
Yeah, they're getting a lot of the same guys for like the media and the production. So I think a lot of it will be quite similar. Yeah, mate, jump in.
Maybe I fucking do the Northern.
Mate, you get athlete money now, don't you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
even the juniors, they get money for winning.
What?
Shut the fuck up.
How much?
Yeah, there's a sponsorship for the junior winners.
For juniors?
Yeah, for juniors.
What, for a class win?
I think so. Yeah, I think that might be at the British though. I'm not sure. I'll have to double check. But they're
Fucking UKDFBA Northern, to be fair. Nope.
Yeah, but mate, because the thing he's doing it, Zach.
Yeah.
Zach is doing the Northern. That'd be cool to see you and him next to each other.
Zach's good. He's got the weekend there, sure. So
He's what? Sorry. Yeah, he'll be there. He'll be there. That'll be cool.
Cool.
That'll be cool. He's very good.
yeah.
Very, very good. Because so are you just doing the two bros?
I think so. Yeah. I'm not too fussed about other shows. I'm kind of just prioritizing, do my early show, be there for my clients in the UK before I fuck off, and then
Yeah.
that's kind of where I'm at, because I've not got any real like intrinsic pull to any real division. And again, the only reason I'm doing the two bros here is so I can go over to Japan and do the Zenix. So
Are you only doing junior or two bros? Do open. I'm genuinely do open because the reason why two bros junior classes are normally like one or two people in it, because all the juniors do PCA. Because ultimately, like the juniors in two bros, they don't go through to the overall.
Yeah.
So it's like you win your class and then what? Especially if it's like one person, it's kind of like a bit of an anticlimax, I feel, for a lot of people. So I would go into open just to see what's that.
So if you don't bottle your prep, I'll be against you.
Actually, technically, if Kev bottles his prep, you've beaten.
Oh,
Yeah. I'll be like last by default.
yeah, true.
Yeah, get to the stage
That's it, man.
with me dressed as Zenitsu.
Yeah.
You failed to make natural status or complete the show. You have to sit in the crowd or dressed as Zenitsu.
Yeah.
He's going to be sat in the front row with us. Yeah, I don't want to diet, so I'm not doing that show. That's the only reason.
There is a non-natty show at that show as well.
Yeah, it's the day before.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'd rather be there for my clients. It's not about me.
It's not about you.
No,
Mm.
it's going to be about you two on stage against each other in high class E. No, but in all seriousness, no, like it does make sense for you to do, because no one's expecting you to fucking win juniors and then win the adult class and then win the overall. Like,
In my opinion,
I think-
like if you were to get like a top 3 in an open class, that's more impressive than winning like a junior class with like 1 or 2 people in.
Yeah.
It's like an extra $100, like business expense, isn't it? Data collection.
Yeah, but the thing is, you wanna stand against other good people to see where you stand in the division and like, okay, like this is where I need to improve.
Speaking of which, actually, it's like I stood next to Joseph
Papo.
Yeah, and like I genuinely, like, for me that was like decently eye opening, because I'd say in terms of like, we'll just say men's physique tool, not high class E specifically, but just like in terms of like from a structure standpoint, we're about like similar sort of height, both men's physique guys, and it's like cool. I could realistically compete against him, so let me see where I stand. He's at like the top of the amateurs, so I stood next to him, not because it's like I think I'm gonna fucking do him or any of that. It's like I want to see how much more I can get out, where I need to be. And it gave me a nice assessment of where I'm currently at and where I need to go. And again, I don't think, like, when I stood next to him, I don't think he knew I was like, I'm not trying to fucking do him from any angle. But if we had to compete against each other, obviously, yeah, we're both going to try and win, but ultimately, like at the end of the day, we're both doing the same shit. We're both there to progress, and like I would rather understand more about myself and someone else than like just be like one track mind. I don't know.
Yeah.
When I won the juniors at the Super Series, it felt cool, but then it felt a bit hollow at the same time. And I'm so glad that I went against the adults as well in like men's physique tool. You know, in like both the tested and untested shows, because it was like, cool, I've actually still got like a ways to push here. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not like the fucking number one guy.
Yeah.
I wasn't far off, really wasn't far off. But it's like, cool, like that. If it wasn't for that, mate, I probably would have quit.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like you just feel like, oh, I've done it.
Yeah, definitely.
How somebody like Brad, you know, Brad Colksedge.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't imagine how somebody like him feels. Goes in for his first season,
Wins everything.
wins everything. Like you see it with him as well. Shout out Brad Colksedge. He's not like locked into bodybuilding. He's got a life outside of it. So like
Mm-hmm.
the drive to continue. Where do you go up from here?
Yeah, he's competing this year, you know.
Is he?
Yeah, he's doing I think like later shows or the natty ones.
Yeah.
That'll be very interesting. Very I think he'll be in the mix for any show he does. You know what I'd like to see? Him versus Jovan.
Who do you have?
Jovan.
Really?
Yeah.
From the front, Jovan.
I think his structure's just a little bit better. I think he has a smaller waist, Jovan. And I think the proportions will just look a bit more freaky, I suppose, from Jovan. So I think it's interesting. It depends on the federation. I think if you were to do two bros, I think Jovan would win.
Depends who signs up for Kaizen first.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. That's the ultimate test. Whoever gets the mastery on Kaizen mastery is gonna win.
And select my Stripe payment first.
The most
Yeah.
You're the one to win.
Yeah. What were we speaking about? Can't even remember. Yeah. Oh no, comparisons. Yeah. So I mean, like, I'm gonna use like myself for example. Like when I competed in that WMBF show, the pro show, the Supernaturals, like people ask me, "Oh, are you disappointed because you didn't place?" Because I didn't place in that show, and the only thing I was disappointed was that I wasn't able to show my best. I like ultimately, even if I was my best, I would have placed no higher than 5th, in my opinion, in that show, because those guys were just significantly more muscular than me, and these are like the top guys in the naturals, and I was like, but the thing is that gave me the drive and like motivation to like, okay, that I have a lot more to give, and I have a lot longer distance to go to get to where I need to get to. Whereas if I'm like, oh, well, I'm kind of at the top or close to the top already, I don't know if I'd have that same like internal drive to really progress and feel like I need to improve a lot more. So I think that's just a perspective thing. I think when people kind of come into this sport thinking, oh, road to pro, I'm just going to win my pro card straight away and that's it. And it's like quite a bad mindset to have where they think anything less than winning every show is a failure. And then a lot of them end up giving up and packing it in if they don't achieve what they want to do. But that's not, like, for most people, that's not the route. It's like more of a gradual progression over time. Like you're going to take some L's, you're going to lose some shows. But if you keep progressing over time, like you will climb the ranks, however that may be.
I think there's a cool feeling. There's something to be said about like climbing the ranks. Even I know, like, if I achieve all of the goals that I want to this year, mate, like, I've still got a ways to go. Like, you know, there's still going to be higher fucking heights to climb even yet. The journey is not done. There's always going to be a bigger stage. There's always going to be even freakier people. But, you know, like, that's almost like the beauty of it and the fun of it. Like, again, like, I very much achieved the physique I wanted to achieve, like, a little while ago. Seeing that develop and get even is like, I don't know, it's a feeling of like self-fulfillment I can't really explain. And especially like when you do better than you think you're going to do at these shows as well, you give yourself the opportunity to like stand against people. Fucking hell, that you do better than you think you're going to. It's very good. I think it's a feeling of unmatched. Yeah, and like I don't know, man. Fucking, it's cool. Yeah. So if AniGains viewers, please DM Noel Campbell and say we want you to do the Two Bros men's class E. DM him personally and say that exact line.
What is men's class E? What height is that again?
I think it's like 180 centimeters plus.
Okay, that's that. So I'm 180.5. So I think I'd just get into that.
And Noah is taller than you, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's a good chance, mate. No, you could if he does that, Kez, and you don't see through your prep. Are you happy with saying that Noah beat you?
Yeah, sure.
You beat Kez. Man,
Looks like we're doing it then.
fuck yeah!
The
Hey,
rematch. We had a 1v1 in the Hitchin Kitchen earlier on in your old place.
what was the final scorecard on that? I swear, like it was a draw.
It's the most pity draw ever. I get bonus for my Adam pose.
Yeah. So men's class E is over 5'11" and up to 6 foot.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you both be in that class then.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Hashtag coming for it all.
Mate, genuinely, that'll be a smoke show because there'll probably be another person in that class, and I reckon you two will fucking smoke whoever that is.
We'll see. We'll see. I don't actually know too many other people doing that show than in terms of the 90s.
Imagine if it's just you.
That'd be hilarious in the whole show.
That'd be class, man. Just one me overall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be great. But yeah, I think most people are doing later shows this year.
Yeah. It's because I posted my show schedule and everybody's just they want to be on the same fucking Instagram timeline as me, so
They want the smoke.
they want it. Everybody's coming from their channel.
All right. Okay. What else is happening in the bodybuilding landscape at the minute?
Not really. I think when show season gets down, people politically become a little bit, become a little bit more switched on, which is always quite entertaining to see. It's like people just they realize there's a bit more to like the world than like the way that they look, and then they start just speaking on things that they just have no fucking business speaking on. Honestly, yeah, like I've not been consuming as much bodybuilding content because of that. Yeah, like apart from like the politics I've been seeing, other than that, everyone's just talking about retatrutide.
GLP-1.
Yeah, everybody's just talking about GLP-1s. I saw an influencer make a CTA to anybody affected by the what's going on in Dubai.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck it. If you're that guy and you're watching this,
Fuck you from the AniGains pod.
Well, should we explain to them the situation for the viewers?
3 dicks. You can suck our AniGains dicks.
Should we explain what they actually did for the AniGains viewers?
You can if you want. Yeah.
No. Was it you that told us what it was?
Me?
Or was it you, Cam? I don't know exactly what it was again.
No, tell them. Tell them again.
So
Reel it up one time.
I had hold on, let me see if I can find a photo whilst I'm at it and not look at badges on reels. There was a business mentor who I can't remember the exact words, but I'm pretty sure he was offering like 2 weeks free access to some sort of course or lead magnet or something so people can still have some type of income or can track some sort of shit if they're online coach over in Dubai whenever the attacks have been going on as of recently, which is honestly fucking peak scumbaggery. And I think that the industry itself in terms of not even just mentorship, but online coaching. There's a lack of morals with a lot of people, and I think that if your first reactions to seeing war and devastation like has been going on, and your first instinct was to jump on it as a way to try and fucking build up your monthly revenue,
Yeah.
or make a fucking carousel saying you helped this person out during this. I think you've got to have a real look at yourself, and again, look at the situation. We spoke about earlier on, like weighing up what you're doing, and you are still able to choose to eat your meals. You're still, as much as you're hungry, you're getting to eat fucking 4 to 5 meals a day. You're choosing to have good quality foods. Whereas, in life in general, there's so much fucking destruction going on everywhere. And the fact that people are just trying to monetize that where they can do. And I think because it's a place like Dubai where people will fuck off because, again, the tax, there's lots of business incentives over there, and there's lots of maybe social media presence because of the people that are over there. Maybe it gets highlighted that a little bit more. But I think that, I don't know, it just doesn't sit right with myself. You compare it to the situation that's going on, in Palestine, and lots of other places at the moment. The coverage is very different. People are a lot more outspoken about one place than the other. It's maybe not. It doesn't fully right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, like Noah said, if your first reaction to people being in what is a genuinely incredibly scary situation that is outside of their control, and you want to take the light of it or profit off of it indirectly, profit off of it, use it as a chance to get your name out there, make fun of it in some cases that I've seen, you're a cunt. Yeah, I'll tell it how it is. You are a fucking cunt. You have no business in talking about self-betterment for other people, because you don't give a shit about other people. You care about making money. You have your morals are very, very questionable. I'd question the moral of any person like that. Yeah, and if you feel like you can relate to that, you need to have a fucking hard look at yourself. Next time you feel like profiting or poking light at fucking some of these things, man. But genuinely get a grip, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the way I feel like a lot of the bodybuilding, social media side of bodybuilding are kind of on that side of the political spectrum, I suppose, where, I don't know, I feel like a lot of people lack empathy and just common human decency, where it's like, people are in a situation where, like, they don't want to be in this certain situation where they are, like, I don't know, fleeing from war-torn countries, being oppressed by governments, or whatever it may be. And then I feel like the general attitude is like, this might be a completely different point, but these people are completely different from us, and therefore we're going to ostracize them or treat them as, like, I don't know, second class citizens, or make fun of the situation. And I don't know, it just really rubs me up the wrong way when I see this sort of stuff on social media all the time. And like, it's weird because, like, I keep quiet about it because I don't want to, like, ruffle feathers and become too political on social media, because it's not my place. I'm not a politician at the end of the day. But I don't know. I feel like, and this is me, this might sound a bit lame, I just feel people need to be kinder and just show a bit more empathy and just be a bit more understanding. Like, everyone's a human being at the end of the day, and just, I don't know. It gets me down sometimes when I see, like, I don't know, certain attitudes in this country on social media, kind of just putting other people down for being in a situation like that, are less privileged than themselves.
I don't know whether it just stems from just a general lack of understanding, or whether it is just a general consensus of lack of empathy. It is just sad to see. It is just sad to see how sort of like I don't even know what the word is, but I don't know. Maybe it's just from where I'm so unbelievably out of touch, where I just don't understand where it just became cool just to be a prick. Came to be, like, the more heartless you can be, like, the more you can, like, And the thing is, like, people always defend it, like, oh, I'm just having fun on social media. I'm just doing this. It's just banter, bro. Like, it's not, man. Like, it's not. Like, you're profiting off of it for content, for laughs, for likes, and you're speaking on things that you have no lived experience knowing. You don't want to get to know. You'd rather believe like a pre-contextualized bias towards something. I'm very much dancing around the curtains of this because, again, I'm not a politician, right? No one listens to the AniGains podcast from my political take. But also at the same time, I just prefer it if bodybuilders generally could, if you don't have any control and if you don't have any power over the situation, you need to build up your audience, your clientele, your fan base by speaking your political biases, and just, if you don't have anything nice to say, just keep it to your fucking self. Like, especially in times where, this is such an individual and a lonely sport. I would rather see less division between people if and when possible, I don't think that that's a stupid or crazy thing to ask for, But again, this might just be because I'm a pussy liberal wokey. Like, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just out of touch.
I think from, at least in the way that I see things, I think that in the UK in general, there just does seem to be a lack of empathy in general. If you look at even the way that the politics, obviously, if you're coming to like Noah Campbell for fucking politics, then you're a fucking idiot anyway. But I can still have my, I think that if you look at how people are looking at politics and you look at some of these fucking parties that are somehow getting traction out there, it's mental. It's absolutely mental, and it's clear that there's a lack of empathy for people that are coming over from, unprivileged position. We're born in a first world country. We're born in a position of luxury.
We can all afford to prep,
Yeah, like we're all in pretty fucking good positions, and I think that lack of empathy is quite apparent in the UK. And I even think that because we are all on social media as part of our job, it's everything's almost like under a magnifying glass for us. So we can see when certain people are, speaking about certain topics and maybe moving a little more one way than the other. And again, you can see that kind of lack of empathy in some individuals and some beliefs in.
Yeah.
It is a strange one. I think that it's not just what's the word? Like the group of, it's not an industry thing. I think it's just the fucking country as a whole has a serious lack of it, but there's such a magnifying glass on it all. It kind of stands out to us more. But the fact that it even is the general, like, there is a lot of lack of empathy in the UK it's nuts.
Yeah.
Like, at least
I mean,
I was brought up, you're nice to people, you accept people, there's multiculturalism everywhere, and you accept people for how they are.
yeah.
Everyone is the exact same on the inside. Everyone's got very different lives. Us three here, we've all got very different backgrounds, but that doesn't change the fact of, like, we're all good mates. We all get on. We've all got similarities. We've all got differences. But for some people, they just can't really see it the same way, or if they do try and look at it, they see someone who might look a little bit different and have those pre-existing thoughts and biases, and what's the word whenever you think something of something already?
Preconception.
Yeah, you have preconceptions about certain people because of maybe what's been peddled in news outlets or things such as that. So I think it's a dire state of affairs for a lot of different things, to be fair.
Yeah. I mean, it's scary because, like, there's one thing having a conversation about whether, I don't know, excessive immigration is putting a strain on resources. Okay, that is a conversation to be had. But then to say, oh, because of your color of your skin, you're not British. And there's generally, like, there is this narrative there now where if you aren't ethnically British, aka not white, you aren't British. So theoretically, even though I'm born in the UK, I've brought up with British values and everything, I wouldn't be British, and I would basically need to be deported on that basis. And I don't know, it's just a scary precedent that people are setting now, I feel. where it's like, what is being, I don't know how we've gone into this topic, but what is being British? I don't know. I feel like it's values, it's how you were brought up, it's the people you're brought up around, rather than, oh, well, where are your grandparents from? Or I don't know. I just feel like it's more about being a good person. And I feel like multiculturalism in the UK has brought so many good things. Like, I don't know, the food, so many different events, the music, like so much good has come from multiculturalism in this country. And it's just yeah, it's a shame really to see when people kind of don't see that.
I think there's just something to be just said for just like pushing like a stigmatized belief on just like not being educated towards something, you know, fully, and then just shoehorning an opinion down that, right? Like for the longest time, again, we want to talk about oppressed groups. We look at the LGBT. Now there was a huge sort of like transfiction on, oh, okay, this is what this small group of people are doing, you know, or could be doing towards, like, you know, kids. Like, oh, we can't push education of this in our schools when the Epstein files just get released. And it's like, look, these people, like, you know, your idols in some cases, they were doing all the things that you were worried that this small marginalized group of people were doing. No, it's in there. It's in the documentation. Like it's out there for public viewing. You know, like they managed to get you to form under one common enemy to something that you didn't really understand, something that you weren't really taught about. And you managed to demonize it. And it's just like, listen, like the people that you think are your enemy might not necessarily be your enemy if you do your own research, if you have actual lived experience of this. Like it's funny how like the most transphobic people I know are also the same people who don't know a single trans person, you know, like. And again, like I've heard some like some racist or some fascist fascist ideology
Ideologies.
yeah, sorry, it's really late, man.
Yeah.
From people that I thought were my friends, and it's sad because it's like it just comes from a place of just ignorance, you know, and it's just sad to see. I don't know. I would just wish like people like if they weren't spending time, you know, maybe like, you know, fucking just shoehorning themselves just into like hate groups like so frequently, if they just almost found things that like actually unified it, like people, it'd be better. But again, that's my.
I don't want to sound immature here when I say this, right? But hating's not like a cool thing.
No, but it's been branded as being fucking cool, right? You know, like, and this is where immediately, like, where it's like you fall out of touch. You become so parasocial with like the world around you that you think that like what is individualism, what is based, you know, being based is fucking like if you're not down like this, then you're a fucking loser, you know, like. I don't know, and like, and that's the part that's like, it's just draining. It's just draining to see somebody who like we all have to be on social media, right? Like as part of our jobs, and it's just shit to see when you're like surrounded by this all the time. Like I don't know, just seeing like it's just sad to see hate being peddled, or I hate being like the new sort of like based. Like yeah, you can make a joke about something, but like it's a different thing to like actually believe it. Yeah, push for it, and like I don't know.
And also when you're pushing agendas, and then you're kind of, and what a lot of people do to push these agendas is spread misinformation as well.
Yeah.
So there's like certain news, I don't know, let's say GB News, for example, who will often kind of report misinformation as being truth, and then everyone's sharing that on social media as fact. And that's scary as well when like, it's kind of, it is propaganda in the end of the day. When propaganda is being spread that isn't necessarily true, in order to like stir up hatred towards, I don't know, maybe a certain set of people. And honestly, like what it is, I mean, it's like what the elites are doing is like they're trying to pit everyone against each other. So they're trying to like all those quote unquote common folk trying to like stir up division. And ultimately, like they reap the rewards at the end of the day. I mean, it might sound conspiracy theorist, but I feel like that's kind of what the government typically does. Is yeah, everyone argues, and then they will profit at the end of the day from our taxes.
I think, yeah, I think the most important thing that I can say to anybody watching this is just do your own research, because like, what can be said about for GB News? Like, I know some people on the fucking right would turn around and say, "Oh, the same thing can be said about Sky." So just do your own research, look into different things. Don't be politically ignorant to the world around you, because if you are, like, those like decisions that you're indifferent about, they will affect your life at some point. If you don't feel like changing politics, politics will change the course of your life at some point. And it's just an idea just to understand what you believe in and understand it as to support morals that you think are ethically correct. Regardless, because everybody's entitled to their own opinion, as long as that opinion is not directly causing harm or distress or oppression to any sort of like group, I think you should be entitled to that opinion, regardless. Just do your own fucking research. Don't believe, if you're harboring information from the AniGains podcast, again, disclaimer, we're not fucking politicians, right? We don't get political.
This is our opinion.
This is our venting more than anything. Just like, I don't want to hear any more fucking politics from bodybuilders. Shut up. Go back to fucking eating your meals and record your fucking leg session on your DJI Osmo, because I don't give a shit about how you feel about, like, you know, Sadiq Khan. You don't know what you're talking about. Like, just do your own research, stick to your sport, and be nice to the people around you. If you don't know something, ask a question. Like, genuinely speaking, you'll only become a better, more rounded. Yeah, we've gone full circle. We become a better, more rounded person. Keep yourself diverse. Have different interests. Speak to different people. Don't become a fucking shell, guys. You know, touch grass. Yeah, make friends. Play an instrument. I don't know. You know, just don't go on GB News all day. You know, the new season of Baki's out. Watch that instead. Like, that's cool. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm so fucking out of touch, man.
Yeah, that is this week's AniGains politics segment wraps up.
That was good though. I enjoyed.
That was good.
I like that.
It was a bit better. Does anybody want to do guess the anime song now?
That's next week.
That's next week.
Yeah,
Man. Right. Well, if anything that we've said has upset you, please unfollow and please unfollow me. And that's fine. But if you did like it, then please give it a thumbs up, as we all appreciate that. This is an hour. My belly is so full of chicken, John. I'm genuinely about to like pop some melatonin and go sleepy vibes, because Noah's got a fun day out tomorrow in London. So he's ready to go. He's so ready to get off at Whitechapel. And he's so ready to walk through the estate to get to Bethnal Green to get to his work. No, it's a safe area. You're fine.
remember, we're tolerant here.
Yeah. Yeah, Noah's just, he's not used to that yet. You're going to see the massive Free Palestine mural outside on his, Cameron, I don't know. I don't know.
Oh god,
Could be scary. No, yeah, yeah, no, you'll like it. You'll like it. It's fun. We go fucking. It's a shame you're not fucking down here for this, honestly. I was thinking.
yeah.
So,
Oh well, next time.
yeah, next time.
Oh, London seminar. We will be
When is that?
probably May.
Mega.
Are we doing it in the same Hackney Create and Destroy studio?
Probably. I think the gyms are too small in terms of the room.
Yeah, it's too expensive as well. Like, you know, like, yeah, like, fuck that, man. Even in terms of lighting, I'd say.
That was pretty good, that London one.
Can we try and book the pedalers in advance in that case then?
We just need 30 pedalers.
Use my name.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but get Noah to speak to the fucking woman again. This show has a few ops, I'd say. GB News, from like the peddler vibes.
Something moo.
Yeah, it was like Moo Moo Canoe.
That is it. That is
Moo Canoe.
your days are numbered.
Yeah, fuck. That influencer from Dubai. Truly, you can suck my nuts if you're watching this. Fuck you, genuinely. Who else is an enemy of the pod? The pod has many friends. Lots of friends of the pod.
No, we can't hate.
No. I hate. We don't hate anybody. Same breath. Oh, fuck that guy.
Fuck that.
Fuck that.
Fuck that.
I think this is the worst episode of the show we've ever done.
It could be the best.
I've enjoyed this. I've enjoyed this more than talking about anime. I won't lie.
Noah hates that. By the way, viewers of the show, Noah hates anime and bodybuilding.
If it is a One Piece.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't watch bodybuilding and I don't watch anime. I was added as a diversity hire.
You knew a lot about Japan.
Yeah.
The show was my idea. We came up with it. Yeah, top 5 British bodybuilding podcast.
Bro, coming for that top 3 next year.
If it gets it, man, fuck.
That would be absolutely hilarious.
Well, I want to get a pro client this year so I can get nominated for Pro Coach of the Year. I reckon if
Is that how it works?
I think so.
I think it's IFBB, mate.
You're telling me if I get an OCB Pro, I can't become myself.
I'm pretty sure, yes. If you win a fucking, what's the really BPA? If you win a BPA Pro card, you're not getting Pro Coach of the Year.
No, surely I swear it's just based off the amount of votes you get.
No.
Because I could just get everybody to tag me. If I've got 100 votes that are saying I'm Pro Coach of the Year, I'll fuck it up.
Effectively.
Just get a bunch of bots to vote for you.
Yeah, I'm going to hire a bunch of people off of Fiverr. Yeah, just like, yeah.
Oh God! Do not get us cancelled.
I won't. That's all I said. Hire people off of Fiverr.
What are you insinuating by that?
Yeah.
I'm not insinuating anything.
The AniGains stuff does not condone cheap labor. And
So one word in this last 5 minutes of when to complete up.
Great
we
stuff.
got everything we just said.
Right, should we wrap it up then?
To fill time. Yes. Vote Cam's Fitness Pro Coach of the Year. I don't care what. I could have not a single client win this year. Vote me Pro Coach of the Year.
Are we all wrapping up on our own message, yeah?
My message is love thy neighbor.
Yes.
I was going to say something similar. I was going to just say be kind. Be kind to one another.
Noah.
Oh, link in bio.
Oh, striping. Striping.
Go cardless.
If you're